This is Focus on Your Health. It's brought to you by Kingman Regional Medical Center in historic Kingman, Arizona. I'm TG LaFredo, and this week I am so excited to be with you. Now, I'm excited to be with you every week, but this week is something special. I first took over Focus on Your Health in October of 2013, and this is my 100th episode. It has been an incredible adventure in radio and in sound. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring you stories and information on health and wellness, to share conversations and to share ideas and adventures. I've loved every moment of it. I mentioned this a while ago, but for about 2.5 years now, I've been posting. Is it 2.5 years? For about 2 years? Gosh, I've been posting shows to YouTube. And in that time, we've reached listeners all over the world. At last count, it was something like 60 different countries. I don't know how or why, but it delights me to think that this little program that originates from a small town in the Mojave Desert has reached listeners far and wide. It's very special to me, and I thank you for being a part of this adventure, and I thank you. So this week, something special. In the first segment, we will revisit a few favorite moments from the 99 episodes that came before this one. In the second segment, I'll just tell you now, it's going to get weird. Have I talked about this? I can't stop recording. Working on this program this week has really brought that into perspective for me. I carry recorders and microphones everywhere I go, and I've done this for a long time. And as a result, I've got crazy audio from everywhere, seemingly everywhere I've been. I have this collection of microphones, and I love microphones, and I love recording, I love sounds, but it's also about places, and it's also about the people who live in those places. And when I'm not working on radio, I'm still out recording, and I'm still interviewing people. It's really an obsession, I guess, because I can't stop doing it. And so in working on this program, that really became clear to me. I have hard drives stacked up here. I've got an old Korg D1600, which probably no one knows what that is anymore. And then reaching back even more vintage, I have a big pile of cassette tapes. Of course, Maxell XL2, because only the best will do. If you're too young to know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. It's old recording and audio technology, and it all makes me happy. And I have this crazy collection of this stuff that even for me, I listen to it and I think, I wonder why I was recording at that particular moment. So stick around for segment 2 because it's funny and weird and a little self-indulgent, but it's pretty cool. I hope you'll enjoy it. Let's jump into segment 1. That first program I did in October of 2013 was with Kurt Manley. He is a physician assistant at KRMC, and here's a little snippet of our conversation. Welcome back to Focus on Your Health here on the KJAZ Radio Network. I'm TG LaFredo, and I'm talking this week with Kurt Manley. Kurt is a physician assistant who works in family practice with Dr. Kevin Brown. I was asking you, Kurt, about whether the proper term is physician assistant or physician's assistant, and you yelled at me.
Well, it's funny because the reality is that a lot of people feel that, well, I don't want to see his assistant. I don't want to see his by the ways, and it's like it's not really that. I
hadn't heard that clip in a long time, and when I did, it was crazy. It was like traveling time, and I think that's part of the magic of recording and saving these interviews for posterity. The next clip I want to share is from my first interview with one of my all-time favorite guests and a good pal of mine, Dr. Ken Jackson. I love this one because he's talking about the challenges of practicing medicine on the frontier.
On the reservation, we were like on the frontier. When I first came there were 5 of us that were serving about 10,000 White Mountain Apaches, and it was the nearest trauma center was 200 miles away. We had no surgery. I delivered both my kids on that reservation, and if anything would have, gone south during that, which it almost did, but the first one, my son, he got stuck, and I had to do a mid-forceps delivery on him, and then I had to transfuse my wife because she was bleeding out, and that's stuff I wouldn't sign up for today. Believe me. I would, but there I was the best person to do it, and we were literally on the frontier.
And you had no choice but to get it right.
That is right. I mean, for all those things, I can remember like a woman coming in one evening that had fallen off the back of a pickup truck and had scalped herself, and you could lift off her scalp. She was alert. She was drunk but alert. You could lift up her scalp, and there was a asphalt strip dug into her skull. We took care of her there.
Yeah.
I picked all that asphalt out of there with some forceps, and then put a water pick in there full of betadine and water, and irrigated everything out of there, and then close it up again. And it was because it was right at the hairline. It was cosmetically a great,
really clean job.
And this was a very attractive young woman.
Yeah,
and it was a very clean job. But we had things like that, and a lot of infectious disease, and so you learned on the job,
right?
And then I went to Pinetop Lakeside where there were almost no specialists there. When I first got there were no general surgeons, there were no orthopedic surgeons,
right?
There were 2 pediatricians, and so again you're kind of in a not quite as much of a frontier area, but there's a lot of stuff that you ended up doing because you didn't really have you had some sort of choice. You could load somebody up and fly them out somewhere. But the things like, I can remember once this little kid came in and he had been on the swing set and fallen off and had chewed through about 2/3 of his tongue, and and those things we sewed them up, and took care of them there. But I have probably hundreds of stories like that.
That's Dr. Ken Jackson on the challenges of practicing frontier medicine. In this next clip, we're going on a medevac mission. This is from the day I spent with the good folks at Guardian Air, the team based at the Kingman Airport. Check this out.
Right now we're actually going on a motorcycle accident that'll be down on Highway 93 at approximately milepost 117. We've been dispatched to 1 head injury and 1 leg injury at this point.
Who's locking the door?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll see you out there. Okay.
This is Focus on Your Health on the KJAZ Radio Network. It's brought to you by Kingman Regional Medical Center in historic Kingman, Arizona. I'm T.G. LaFredo, and on this week's program, we are flying with Guardian Air. Guardian provides medical transport by helicopter and fixed wing all over Arizona. The company has bases in Flagstaff, Page, Show Low, Winslow, Verde Valley, Tuba City, and Kingman. That's where we're flying out of today. We are Angel 6, and we're about to depart Kingman Airport in a Bell 407. Our pilot is Mike Mickelson, a former Marine who's been flying since 1978. He flew for the Arizona Department of Public Safety for 20 years, and he's flown over a decade with Air Methods and Guardian. The flight paramedic is Ashley Steinberg, and the nurse, and my tour guide, is Eric Music.
Ready when you are, sir.
Clear! We're clear! Clear! We're clear!
Kingman, Stallion 3322 Foxtrot, West 8, runway 21. Driving Angel 6 helicopter midfield, will be departing to the east. Crossing midfield west to east, low level, any traffic please advise. Alright, here we go. Guardian Air Center, Angel 6. Angel 6, go ahead, sir. Yes, ma'am. Angel 6 just cleared the airport Kingman en route to 117 on 93. 4 on board, and we've got 2 hours and 10 minutes of fuel low risk. Copy that. Departed the airport 4 POB 210 in fuel en route to the scene low risk at 1419.
We don't really know what we're going to find when we arrive on scene. At this point, all we have is that it's a motorcycle crash with 2 riders down. We'll land on US 93, just north of Wickiup, Arizona. It's a well-traveled stretch of road, but it's remote in that it's a long way from there to a hospital. That's from the documentary I did on Guardian Air. If you want to listen to that entire episode, just go over to YouTube, search for Focus on Your Health, Guardian Air, and it will come up. Next is a clip from another documentary. For this one, I traveled to the Philippines with my wife, Dr. LaFredo. That's where she's from, and that's where she trained in medicine. And in this excerpt, we board a jeepney, which is mass transit in the Philippines, and we make our way through traffic over to Philippine General Hospital. We are nearing Philippine General Hospital. I've been here before. The lines are long. People come from all over to see a doctor. It's a government hospital, so the services cost nothing, and it takes time to get in. But they don't turn anyone away. On my first visit, I saw the people lined up out the door, down the street, around the corner. Things can get pretty crowded in here. I just did a head count, and I realized that there are 17 people in the jeepney right now.
Yeah, and it's not even full yet.
So how many people can you stuff into one of these?
This is a big jeepney, so probably at least 26. And then, that's if everyone's seated.
Right. And if they need to fit more in, how do they do that?
You can have people stand and ride, I guess, shotgun, do you call that? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And I've seen people hanging off the back while it's going in motion, right? Now, just now, a couple of little street kids jumped into the back. We're at a stop.
Donations. He's singing, and he gave us envelopes before he started singing. So it's more of if you appreciate his singing, you can donate money.
It's time for a quick break on Focus on Your Health. When we return, a deep dive into the LaFredo audio vault. Stick around. Support for the Arizona Community Radio Network is provided by Kingman Regional Medical Center. Before they take the field, your student-athletes need sports physicals. KRMC Urgent Care can help. You can visit the clinic at 1726 East Beverly Avenue, right across from the main hospital campus. No appointment necessary. Just stop by. KRMC. And welcome back to Focus on Your Health. I'm TG LaFredo, and this is my 100th episode of the program. To celebrate, we're doing something a little weird, a little different. I've been traveling for a while, and everywhere I go, I take recording gear, and I'm just always listening to places and listening to people. Pretty much anybody who wants to talk, I'll put a microphone up and we'll record. And as a result, I have a pretty crazy collection of audio. Everywhere I've been, seemingly everywhere I've been, I send audio postcards to friends and family to check in. Of course, I've been involved in music for pretty much my whole life. I've made at least part of my living as a drummer, recording and performing. And then there's radio, which I've loved forever and worked in now for a while. Sports. I'm interested in sports, and I've run a bunch of marathons, and of course, I've recorded on some of those as well. So what follows is a sound collage from some of those adventures. I wanted to share that with you now. From I-70 west of Denver and fast approaching the Continental Divide. Howdy, from the corner of 80th and Queens Boulevard in New York City. What am I doing in New York City? Good morning from the Love Station in windy Tucumcari, New Mexico. New Mexico is a state with a lot of great place names, and Tucumcari is one of them. I am 641 miles in on the trip. Greetings from Niagara Falls, USA. I told you I would send you an audio postcard, and here I am. Take a listen. Well, good morning, and howdy from the Texas Panhandle, where the daytime speed limit is giddy up, and the nighttime speed limit is yeehaw! This is an audio postcard from Montreal. This is my second take, because in my first take my tongue was frozen. Springtime has arrived, and as you can tell, the bees have too. I have a balcony, and since it's 2 in the morning, I can step out in my boxers. I have an interstate. It's a little bit loud, but I have a great view, and I can see a tugboat out there on the river. That's pretty cool. And what else can I see? A Waffle House. That's pretty exciting. Greetings from Olcott. I'm standing on a big concrete pier out in the lake, and I chased all the seagulls away, but they left me a lot of poop. It's dark now, and I was having a little problem with the harness that sends the signal to the trailer. The brake lights and the turning signals. I had a little short in it, and I'm not too happy about that. I think I have it working now. You could say that I put a Band-Aid on the problem, because I put a Band-Aid on the problem. Normally as a musician I have duct tape at the ready, but I don't have any with me, and so I used a Band-Aid to kind of rig up the cable that has a short in it. On I-44, just east of Grand Lake, Oklahoma, a sign that reads, "Hitchhikers may be escaping inmates." Greetings from Rancho Mirage, California. Here at Agua Caliente Casino. I'm in my room, and it's about an hour and 40 minutes until showtime. And I thought I would check in and say hello from out here. Having a great time. We had a great show last night. We're on a wonderful stage in a beautiful room. Wow. We have a sound man, and he cares about how we sound. And he works our whole show. We go backstage to our green room, and we have a couch. We have a couch. We have a green room. We have a little refrigerator full of water. We must be rock stars now. This is the best part of the night. So after the gig, I came looking for some food, and I walked in, and there's singing karaoke, as you can tell. The next stop is Effingham, Illinois, where I'll fill up the gas tank. It's been a pretty good drive so far. Woke up in St. Louis and crossed the Mississippi River and made my way east into Illinois, one of my former home states. Five and a half hours to come to terms with it, and it's okay. It's actually kind of funny. Really. I mean, I'm going to go on a 5,000 plus mile journey, a journey of 5,000 plus miles, And after 20 miles, I ended up crapped out on the side of the road.
Thank you for calling Penske Truck Rental. To continue in English, press 1.
There's no reason I can't practice. But I told you my wife's a pediatrician, and you started telling me a story.
Yeah, I delivered my grandbaby 7909 at 5:01 a.m. in the morning at my house, at my daughter's bedroom. He was 7 pounds 1 ounce and 21 inches long.
First time you deliver a baby?
Very first time.
Was that her first kid too?
Yeah, he started coming out, and I had to check, make sure the umbilical cord wasn't wrapped around his neck, which it was.
Right.
So he got about to his shoulders.
Wow.
And I had to push him back a little bit to get the umbilical cord.
Oh man.
But then once that, because she was hollering, don't push him back in. I said, well, I got to. I mean, I got to get that around his neck.
That's right.
And once I got that off, she started pushing. I told her, I said, push. I said, push. And I put my hands up under his arm and give him a little tug, and he come right on out.
Now, were you on the phone with 911, or you did this?
Yes, I was on the phone with 911.
They were kind of coaching you a little bit?
Yeah, but I seen it done with my kids, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
like an old pro then, no problem.
Well, I'm back in Denver now. So I've got 1 hour of sleep in the last 29 hours.
Obama was a Roberto, so we used to use him for first base.
Behold, 3 flavors of corn nuts. Original, barbecue,
and ranch.
Yeah.
Don't you like ranch?
I do like ranch. I like original too. I don't think I've ever had barbecue.
Yeah, both. Well, you've had barbecue.
Yeah? Wow. The box.
The theme song.
Yeah.
Mad Libs Part 12. Quiz. Are you a party girl? Are you a party girl? Take this quiz and find out. 1. The best part of living in a party town like Miami is A. Increased chances of running into Dolph Lundgren.
That's awesome. It's 2:06 a.m. We're in a gas station type restaurant thing somewhere in West Virginia.
You're still in West Virginia?
Oh, we have a lot of West Virginia to go. But you're every woman in the world to me.
Yeah, but what I was thinking?
Tell me. Huh?
I'm hearing songs that I thought I'd never hear again.
You hoped you'd never hear again.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that we were on Delilah. When I hear a song like this, key change. When I hear a song like this at 2:06 in the morning in a gas station in West Virginia, I think of Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Is that romantic? It seems like something he would really appreciate.
In South Australia I was born, heave away, all the way, South Australia round Cape Horn, bound for South Australia, all the way.
1077 El Lago.
So Buffalo has a special place in my heart.
And underneath it, there were red, blue, white, and yellow lights.
Magandang umaga, tanghali at gabi sa inyong lahat. Kayo po ay nakikinig sa Bombo Radio, Kingman, Arizona.
excessive heat warning in effect until 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Monday. Record to near record high temperatures through Monday evening.
Here you are living out in the burning desert. What has all this sunlight done for you lately?
Saturday, sunny. Highs 121 to 124. Winds generally light.
Shoot! It's like a big old tax credit hootenanny.
Can you say full house? Get ready for some football tonight. Good evening, everybody. Tom Erickson with T.G. LaFredo and Denise Wiley live from Lee Williams High School in Kingman, Arizona. Finding good running room up the middle is number 45. Across the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5. In for the touchdown, Jordan McDowell Siebert. The fat lady is singing right now. Oh, my, oh, my. Oh, Nurse Ratchet, I need some duct tape for my depends.
And that's the show. That's the 100th episode of Focus on Your Health with a deep, crazy dive into the LaFredo audio vault. Thanks for indulging me in that. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you'll join me for the next 100 episodes or so. Before we go, big thanks to Tom and Nicole Erickson at the KJazz Radio Network / Northwest Arizona Public Radio. Thanks also to Terry Williams and Sean De La Riva at KRMC Public Relations. And thank you for listening. I'm T.G. LaFredo. If you'd like to send me an email, you can reach me at foyhradio@gmail.com. That's Focus on Your Health, foyhradio@gmail.com. We'll catch you next time.
Greetings from Denver, Mr. and Mrs. LaFredo. And here's a little tune for you. Bruce Baker in Denver.